Couple of cheeky surprises this past weekend over in the Premier League, including a shock loss for the leaders, Manchester City. Of course, West Ham keep up the heat in the top four, but whatever else happened, we'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at match number 33, I think, over in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button and bang out today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Premier League related, football related. And all here, boys, under one Rooski. That's right, of course. It looks still there's Manchester City's title, with, of course, what is it? They've got 11-point lead, something like that, at the top of the table, and have played a game more, though. But of course, yes, a big still opportunities for some major slip-ups, including their shock defeat to Leeds this past week. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Of course, a big shout out to the VIPs. We're talking about the Patreons. Thank you for your continued support behind the scenes. So let's get into it then and have a little look at this, because it is, I know it might be nailed on for City, but still huge question marks at the top and the bottom of the table as to what will happen at the end of the season. So here we go, guys. Here we go. Take a look back at, of course, my picks first. And it kicked all off back on Friday the 9th of April with a 1-0 win for Wolves over Fulham. Goodness gracious me. If only it went the other way, then, of course, Fulham would be breathing down the necks for safety. So Adam Traore with the 1-0 goal in the 92nd minute to give Wolves the win. Unfortunately, I went with the 2-1 win. Went with my heart, really. Really wanted Fulham to survive. But unfortunately, no. 2-1 win my way. Wrong. 1-0 the other way. Meanwhile, Manchester City did lose to Leeds United. A very, very good game. I watched that as well. Stuart Dowse with a couple of goals there as well. Liam Cooper got himself sent off. Ferran Torres equalised for Manchester City. It looked like it was game over then, of course, for Leeds. But guess what? Lastminute.com there. Stuart Dowse with the winner. Everyone else, I think all of us went with, of course, City on that one. But unfortunately, we were all wrong. Of course, Liverpool, though, 2-1 win for them over Aston Villa, just about to get over the line there. Again, a late goal on that one. Ollie Watkins giving Villa the lead. Mo Salah with the equaliser. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a 91st minute winner to give them the win. 2-1 for them, 2-0 for me. Happy as that. Meanwhile, Palace got himself handed to a plate by Chelsea. 4-1 win in the end. I watched a bit of this as well. Kai Havertz as well. And Christian Pulisic with the brace. Kurt Zouma as well. Christian Benteke, probably one of a really good goal as well from Palace, but unfortunately not good enough. Of course, thank heavens for this. Of course, Burnley did lose to Newcastle United 2-1 in the end. Goals from Jacob Murphy and St. Maximum giving Newcastle the win. Matavidra on the score sheet for Burnley, giving them the early lead, but unfortunately for them, they lost. Meanwhile, the Hammers, they did beat Leicester City in a very, very good game. 5-goal thriller there. Goals from Jesse Lingard with the brace, Gerald Bowen as well to give them a 3-goal lead before Kelchi Iheanacho with a couple of goals as well for Leicester to give them a little bit of hope. But unfortunately, they lost 2-0 for me, 3-2 final score. Of course, United did beat Tottenham with, of course, a 3-1 win. Son Heung-min on the score sheet for Spurs. Fred Cavani and Greenwood on the score sheet for United. A 3-1 win. Bit of a revenge mission there for United after that, 6-1 win for Spurs early season. 3-1 win though for United. 2-1 for me going the other way, but unfortunately I was wrong. Sheffield United also got spanked by, of course, Arsenal. 3-0 in the end. Lacazette with a couple of goals there. Martinelli as well in a 3-0 win. I actually went with a 2-1 win, so not too shabby. Another big win for, of course, the Baggies. Can they do it? Can they bloody do it? Still got a lot of work to do. 3-0 win for the Baggies. Matis Pereira, Phillips, and of course Callum Robinson on the score sheet giving West Brom the win. 3-0 in the end. 2-1 for me. Not too shabby. Of course, Brighton and Everton end up all square 0-0. I went with the 2-2. As you can see, I did pretty good for myself. Got myself 7 out of 10, which is pretty credible. We'll take a look at the table in just a second. Well, in fact, here it is right now. And as you see, United are in second behind, of course, City. I think those two guys are home and hosed. Then it is the race for fourth. Leicester are looking a little bit wobbly at the moment. So do West Ham look good. Chelsea also in the hunt, and also Spurs and Liverpool maybe. You've got outside shots of Everton, but realistically, if you say Tottenham are in the race, Everton is still in the race as well. But realistically, I think it's from sixth upwards. I for the neutral would like to see. I'd like to see West Ham get there. Chelsea look good at the moment. So do Liverpool. I don't think we're going to get the dream of seeing Leicester and West Ham in the both of them in the Champions League next season. I think one of those will drop out. And at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Leicester City. I'd love to see West Ham. Just love, even for a season, just to see them, and for their fans as well. Leicester City have been there. They fluffed their lines last time around. They choked. You know what? I don't care. If Leicester or West Ham make it, in fact, if they both make it, it'll be tremendous. But I don't see it. I think the longevity of Chelsea and Liverpool will give them a lot of problems as, of course, the season comes to a close. So, but anyway, let's kick it on further. Take a look at your picks then, shall we? This is the deal. You know the deal. Bish bash bosh. Let's get into it. Of course, Yannick Zaifri did shy right. He's easily did okay. Of course, Sam Reese, yeah, 5 did, of course, did well. The Aston Villa Seal did poop. I'm sure he did okay. Of course, Ojo 52 did good. Robert Horst not too bad. Of course, Hans Worst did okay. Omar Esquivel, fair play to you, brother. You did all right. Brendan Arden also did good. Yafa VMPB also did very well. Adrian K1Z also did good. Cambridge Charlie not too bad. Yanni also did a bit. Mark Chapman also did all right. Mr. Matt Ross not too shabby. In fact, he did shite. R787B also did good. Legolas good also did good. Ahmed Sochi not too bad. Well done to you. Of course, Edric Washington, the coolest name in town, also did very well. A Judy did good. Okay, did okay. Session Debafs also did very well. Mr. J also did great. Alex Weller not too bad. Well done to you. Of course, Shane Donald, well done to you, brother. And of course, Russell Frost also did very well. Costas K, he's okay. Imagine Monday also did bits. Noah Raven also did all right. Fernando Josiska Segerman not too bad. Of course, I did poop. James PCFC, great, you did good. Georgie Gaisov not too shabby. Of course, Ollie Hamley also did very well. Ultra Overmere, fair play to my brother. That's right, of course, kicking ass and taking him. AJ24 did bits. Ricardo W also did very well. Jacob Jackson had a nightmare, but it's okay. Leeds 21 also did good. Vincent Young did bits. Starslin and East also did very well. Forever Football PFC also did good. Tom Stainer smashed it, kicking ass and taking him. Ojo 52 also did very well. Lucas Jarvis also did bits. Matt Gunner did bits as well. And Cody Gaho, fair play to you, my brother. In the corner, what's that done to the table? We'll have a little look at it. Here it comes. If your name is Jacob Jackson, don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. But if your name is Russell Frost, kicking ass and taking names, he's wearing the bloody crown, so give him some respect where respect is due. Legolas good also up there as well. Ahmed Sochi, Shane O'Donnell, Noah Raven, and of course Forever Football also did very well with 6 out of 10. I also got 7, didn't I say that? So I also wearing the crown because I am a prediction king. You guys know. Of course, take a look at the overall table. Let's have a look at it. Who is the King Ping Supreme? What it is, Yafa VMPP and Ahmed Sochi lead the charge with 156 points on the board. Still a lot of points up for grabs. I don't even want to do the calculations at the moment, but of course, yes, still, within touching distance. I think if you're within the top 20, you've got a realistic, or an outside shot anyway of sneaking in the title. If you're in the top 10, you've got a good old chance to gate crash the top 2. But yeah, VMP and Ahmed Sochi just need to keep on predicting the moment. 6-point gap between themselves and second, but of course that will close down pretty quickly. So let's get into the next round of matches. Of course, kicking all off. What are we? We're kicking all off this Friday, the 16th of April. Of course, a lot of games been moved around for the funeral of Prince Philip, and there's actually the Southampton Crystal Palace game is not going to go ahead, so we'll just blitz past that. I'll give you my pick just in case something happens and it goes ahead. Let's take a look at Everton then. We get Spurs play each other last 6, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws last time around. At Goodison Park in the league was a 1-1 draw back in November 2019. Dele Alli on the score sheet for Spurs. Of course, Cenk Thompson as well for Everton. Son Heung-min himself sent off, believe it or not, in a 1-1 draw. One of the nicest men in football. Also, picture though this season in Everton, 5-4 win in the FA Cup. Of course, goals galore on that badger. Calvert-Lewin, Carlson with the brace, Bernard and Gylfi Sigurdsson on the score sheet with, of course, goals from Davinson Sanchez, Harry Kane, and Lamela as well. Sanchez got a couple of goals on that day. Also, this season down at London Way, of course, in the Premier League, it was a 1-0 win for Everton as well. So it's very, very tight, this game. I just don't know which way it'll go. Of course, Everton coming into this, just 1 win in the past 6 games. That was against West Brom. Pretty shit form at the moment for Everton. Also pretty shit form for Spurs at the moment. Just 1 win in the past 5. That one was against Aston Villa. Of course, losing to United and then drawing with Newcastle not too long ago. Meanwhile, the bookies odds on this one. We've got 23-10 for Everton. Of course, 23-20 is your Spurs. 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Spurs come into this in 7th, and with them they can move up to 6. Everton are down into 8th, and with them they can move up to 7th. It is tight, airtight. Going to go with 2-1 win for Spurs, though. Mourinho will have it. Of course, like I said, Southampton against Crystal Palace is postponed, but I will tell you, I would have went with the 1-1 draw if it went ahead. Anyway, next up, though, we have Newcastle United against West Ham United. Of course, played to the last 6. Must-win game, though, you think, for the Geordies. Down at the table, of course, three wins the past 6 games over the Hammers. 2 wins for the Hammers, of course, and 1 draw. Last round at St James's Park was a 2-2 draw back in July 2020 in lockdown as well. Marco Antonio, of course, Tom Suchik as well. Mikel Almiron, of course, Joe Selby get on the score sheet for, of course, Newcastle in a very, very action-packed game. Also, a pleasure of the season down at West Ham was a 2-0 win for the Geordies as well. In fact, Newcastle 1, 2, 3, 4 games unbeaten against West Ham. You're going to go all the way back to 2019 for West Ham's win over Newcastle. Newcastle, though, drawing the last 3 home matches in the Premier League score. West Ham have actually scored at least 3 goals in the last 3 matches, though, heading into this. The Hammers back-to-back wins, of course, beating Wolves and beating Leicester in quick succession, in scoring goals and conceding a lot of goals as well. In fact, the last 3 games, they've scored 9 goals in total, conceding though 6, 7, 8 So 5, 7 goals, conceding 7, scoring 9. As for the Geordies, just 1 defeat the past 6 games. They are grinding out the results. A lot of draws knocking around, but of course they all mean something. A look at the bookies odds on this one: 11-4 for the Geordies, 20-99 is of course your West Ham. Of course 13-5 is your draw. Of course Newcastle come into this in 17th, but a win for them they can move up to 15th. As for West Ham, they're 4th, and a win for them they can move up to 3rd. Going to go with the Hammers on this one, the 2-0 win on the road. Of course next up we have Wolves up against Sheffield United on the same day on the 17th. Let's get into this one then. Play to the last 6-3 for Wolves. Wolves, 2 for Sheffield United, 1 draw. Of course, last time around in Molineux was a 1-1 draw back in December 2019. Lise Musa on the score sheet, of course, Sheffield United, Matt Doherty getting on the goals for Wolves. Last time around at Bromwich, 2-0 win earlier in the season back in September. Of course, Wolves coming out on top. Goals from Raul Jimenez and Roman Sass giving Wolves the win. Sheffield United, though, losing 15 last 17 matches in the Premier League. They seem to be down already. Where Sheffield United also failed to score in 6 of the last 8 matches as well. Heading into this. Coming into this, though, of course, 5 defeats on the spins for Sheffield United, losing and a whole bunch of them. Only scoring 1 goal in 5. That one was against Leeds. As for Wolves, though, just won with the past 6 games. They've also a little bit scrambling as well. But unfortunately for them, there are much worse teams in the division than they are. 13-8 on is your Wolves. 13-5 is your draw. 5-1 is your Sheffield United. Sheffield United come to this in 20th, and with them they can close it in on 19th. Wolves are actually in 12th despite their woeful form. With them they can close it in on 11th. I'm going to go with the winner for Wolves on this one. 3 points in the bag and move the bloody chains. Next up we have Arsenal up against Fulham. Of course, played to the last 6 wins. 6 for Arsenal over Fulham, including a win last round at the Emirates. 4-1 win back in New Year's Day 2019. Xhaka, Lacazette, Ramsey, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, of course. Abubakar Kamara on the score sheet, of course, Fulham back in the day. Also, pleasure this season at Craig McCutcheon, a 3-0 win for Arsenal as well. Fulham, though, losing their last 4 matches in the Premier League, and they came into this just 1 win the past 6 games. That one was against Liverpool. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 5, though, for Arsenal. Maybe, just maybe, Fulham can have a little bit of an opportunity here. Played each other last, we talked about that. The bookies odds 10-7 on is your Arsenal, 13-5 is your draw, 17-10 is 17-4 is your Fulham. Fulham come into this, of course, in 18th, and with them make a close in on 17th. They need it. They bloody well need it. As for Arsenal, they're in 9th, and with them they can move up to 8th in the table. I'm going to go with, unfortunately, with Arsenal on this one with the 2-1 win to put the 3 points in the bag. Next up, though, we have, of course, United up against Burnley. 6 finger fixoids. Played to the last 6. 4 wins for United, 1 for the Freaks, and 1 draw. Last time around at Old Trafford was a 2-0 win for Burnley. Goodness gracious me. Goals coming from Chris Wood and Jay Rodriguez back in the 22nd of Jan last season. Also, though, they played each other down Turnbull this season was also a 1-0 win for United, though. Paul Pogba with the winner. United, though, winning the last 4 matches in the Premier League and coming into this just 1 defeat the past 5. That 1 defeat was against Leicester in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Burnley have them scrambling, and just 1 win the past 6 games for them. That one was against Everton a couple of games back. Meanwhile, the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on the bookies odds? Coming at you, the bookies odds 3-1 on is United, 17-4 is your 8-1 is your Burnley. Of course, Burnley are all the way down to 16th. We need them to lose, but a win for them they can move up to 14th. And I think a win for them makes them safe. As for United, they're all the way up into 2nd. A win for them they can close in on City, but I think it's too much, too far too gone. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for United. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Next up, we have the battle of the L's. It's Leeds up against Liverpool. Played to the last 6. 5 wins for Liverpool, nothing for Leeds, and 1 draw. Of course, Leeds coming to this on the back of that win against City. Can they do the double of course, the big boys against Liverpool? We'll see. Played to the last time around at Ellen Road was a 1-0 win for Leeds back in, of course, 2009 in the League Cup. David Ngog on the score sheet. Last time they played in the Premier League, it was all the way back 2004, a 2-2 draw with Eric Bakke on the score sheet, Mark Viduka as well. Harry Kuehl on the score sheet, Milan Barros as well. Good description, me some names there. Also played each other, though, this season at Anfield, 4-3 win back in September. Liverpool, though, winning 5 of the last 6 away matches in the Premier League. Also, Leeds winning the last 3 matches in the Premier as well. Looking very good, unbeaten the last 4, of course, including a draw against Chelsea. Of course, 1 defeat the past 5 for Liverpool. That was against Real Madrid in all comps. They also take on Madrid tomorrow, or depending on whenever this video goes live. Look at the bookies odds on this one. 50-4 for Leeds, 20-13 on is your Liverpool, 60-5 is your draw. Leeds come into this in 10th, and with them they can move up to 8th. Sitting 7th, though, 6th is Liverpool, and with them they can move up to 4th in the table. Get in there. That's Champions League football once again. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Liverpool on this one. Get the 3 points, move the chains, and keep on dreaming. Next up, we have Chelsea against Brighton. Played to the last 6, 4 for Chelsea, 2 draws, nothing for Brighton. Last time around at Chelsea, it was a 2-0 win back in September 2019. Jorginho and Willian on the score sheet, giving Chelsea the win. Also played at the Amex this season, back in September. It was a 3-1 win for Chelsea as well. Of course, heading into this, Chelsea undefeated in 11 last 12 matches in the Premier League. They came to this just 1 defeat the past 4 games. That was against the Baggies, of course, 5-2 loss, but back-to-back wins since then. As for Brighton, unbeaten, in fact, just 1 defeat the past 4 for them. That 1 defeat was against Manchester United, of course. They drew with Everton just the other day. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Chelsea 7-4 on for the victory, 5-1 is your Brighton, 3-1 is your long shots. That is the draw. Brighton are in 15th, and for them they can move up to 14th. Chelsea in 5th, and for them they can move up to 3rd. Goodness gracious me. And that means Champions League back on the agenda. 2-0 win for Chelsea, 3 points in the bag. Next up, we have Aston Villa up against Manchester City, where the girls are so pretty. They played each other last 6. It's been 6 out of 6 for City over Villa, including a 6-1 win last time in the Premier League back in January 2020. Goals from Mahrez. He got himself a couple of goals there. Aguero got himself a hat-trick, and Gabriel Jesus as well. Anwar El Hazi getting a 1-0 goal for Aston Villa on the 91st minute. Also played each other, though, this season. The City grounds a 2-0 win, or whatever the Fiat or whatever. 2-0 win for City back in, of course, January 2021. City, though, winning their last 9 matches on the road, keeping a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 away matches as well. Man City, though, scoring at least 2 goals in 7 of the last 8 away matches heading into this. Of course, just 1 defeat the past 4 games for City. That was against Leeds the other day. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 6 for Villa. That was against Fulham. Also, a couple of games back. The bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this? It is 30-2 for Aston Villa. 7-2 is your draw. 5-2 is your City. They are nailed on. Of course, City are top and they'll be top no matter what. Villa in 11th. And with them, they can move up to 9th. Going to go with a 3-0 for City on this one to take the 3 points and keep on dreaming. Next up, we have Leicester City up against West Bromwich Albion. That's on the 22nd. I didn't know I was doing this one, but we're doing it anyway. Played to the last 6. It's been 4 wins for Leicester, 1 for West Brom, 1 draw, of course, last time around at the King Power was a 1-1 draw back in the Premier League in 2017. Goal scorer on that day was Ryan Mahrez on the score sheet for Leicester, Nacho Chadri on the score sheet for, of course, the Baggies. And a 1-1 draw. Also pictured this season down at Hawthorns, 3-0 win back in September, going in favour of Leicester. Timothy Castagna on the score sheet with Jamie Vardy with a brace. Heading into this, back-to-back wins for the Baggies, back-to-back defeats for Leicester. Heading into this, bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this one? We have 2-1 on for Leicester, 14-5 is your draw, 11-2 is your away win. The Baggies, of course, heading into this in the 19th, but with them, they can move up to 18th. And guess what? The Great Escape could be on then if they get the W. Of course, they've got a game in hand on Fulham as well. As for their opposition, Leicester, they come into this in 3rd, and with them, they can close it in on 2nd. Going to go with a 2-2 draw in this one, which keep up the good run for West Brom. Be another couple of points dropped there for Leicester. Then finally, it'll be Spurs up against Southampton. This is on Wednesday the 21st, so we're going back a day here. Played to the last 6, 3 for Spurs, 2 for Southampton, 1 draw last round. In Spurs, or in that Fancy Pants Stadium, was a 3-2 win for Tottenham back in, of course, February this season. 3-2 win. Last time played in the league, though, down London Way, was a 2-1 win for Spurs as well, back in September 2019. Tanguy and Ndombele on scoring, Harry Kane as well. Danny Ings getting a goal for Southampton, with Serge Aurier get himself sent off, of course, for Spurs. Heading into this, though, Southampton losing the 7 last 8 away matches. Heading into this, conceding 2 goals in the last 4 matches as well. Coming into this, though, of course, Spurs just 1 win in the past 5. Southampton 2 wins in the past 4 games, including an FA Cup victory as well. Look at the bookies odds on this one. What do we have at the bookies odds? We have 6-4 on for Spurs, 13-5 is your, 17-4 is your away win, and that is, of course, the Saints. Of course, Saints coming into this in 14th, and with them, they can move up to 12th. Spurs are in 7th, of course. Back-to-back games they got this week. If they win both of them, they could go up as high as, 55 points? They could go with the top 4, depending on what goes on. Going to go with a 2-0 win for them, which make it 2 wins for them. How about that? What will that do to the table? We'll have a look at it. Of course, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Bit of a change of the course of the look of the table. Of course, City will still be charged top of the table. Of course, 11 points clear of United. And then West Ham are up into 3rd there. Chelsea down to 4th, or up to 4th, whatever you want to look at it. Leicester down to 5th. Spurs to 6th, and Liverpool into 7th. And then it is realistically a 4-horse race. Or what? Not really a 4. It's 1, 2, 3. It's a 5-horse race for a couple of spots left in the Champions League. Down the foot of the table, Sheffield United, West Brom and Fulham going down, and then the gap between Fulham and Newcastle would be 6 points. It is looking a little bit a bridge too far, but we'll see. We'll just see about that. In fact, you're probably looking at West Brom, maybe even closing on it. It's starting to bubble up, though, the boys, at the top and the bottom of the table. Let me know what you think in your description down below. Of course, give the video some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, and we'll do it all again very, very soon. Check out the links on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. We'll do it all again, though, soon. Hopefully your team wins, unless you're Burnley. Hopefully they lose. Until then, I'll see you all soon for the next one. Until then, I'm out.